Welcome to Crisis in Perception, where we examine the systems shaping our world, one book at a time.
So let's just jump right in with the big question. Why does modern life so often feel like a performance? You know that feeling, right? Like you're just an actor playing a part, going through the motions on a stage you didn't even choose. Well, if that hits home, I want you to know something really important. It's not just you. This isn't some kind of personal failing or private anxiety. Nope. It's a systemic condition. It's actually a key feature of the world we're all living in.
All right, so let's get into the core idea here. The crazy thing is, the diagnosis for this exact feeling was laid out with, stunning clarity way back in 1967. A French theorist named Guy Debord wrote this incredible book, The Society of the Spectacle, and he gave a name to the system that makes us all feel this way. He called it, simply, the spectacle.
And this right here, this is the heart of it. Debord's main argument is pretty much captured in this one sentence. He's saying that in our modern world, real, authentic, lived experience, it's been pushed aside. It's been systematically replaced by representations, by images. It's like life is no longer something we do. It's become something we just watch.
Okay, and this next part is absolutely crucial. When he talks about the spectacle, he's not just talking about a bunch of images, right? It's not just about movies or TV ads or even social media, though, yeah, those are definitely part of it. Debord's making a much, much bigger point. He's saying that the spectacle is actually a social relationship between people, but it's a relationship that's filtered through images. The very way we connect with one another is now managed by this world of representation.
So if this whole spectacle thing is all around us, how does it actually work? Like, how does it operate in our day-to-day lives? Well, Debord basically gives us a blueprint. You can think of it as four main pillars that hold up this whole structure of illusion.
First up, representation over reality. This is a big one. The image, the sign, the copy, it all becomes more valuable than the real thing it's supposed to represent. Think about it in your own life. You go on a vacation. Is the most important thing the actual messy, sometimes boring, sometimes amazing experience? Or is it the perfectly curated photo you post online? The image of the vacation starts to feel more real, more important than the vacation itself. The representation basically eats the reality. Okay, pillar number 2, alienation through consumption. This constant storm of images, it separates us from ourselves. Debord argues that the more you stare at all the images of what you're supposed to want, the perfect body, the perfect car, the perfect life, the less you actually understand what you genuinely desire. Your own needs start to get replaced by the needs the market creates for you. And before you know it, you're kind of a stranger in your own life.
Third, we've got how commodity logic shapes our perception. What does that mean? It means that the logic of buying and selling just takes over everything. Our social lives become so swamped with products that, as Debord says, the world we see is the world of the commodity. Think about it. Experiences, relationships, even things like protest and rebellion, it all gets packaged up, branded, and sold right back to us. Everything gets a price tag, and our whole worldview starts to look like one giant shopping mall.
And the fourth and final pillar, passivity becomes a political condition. See, the spectacle demands one thing from you above all else, that you just sit back and watch. It wants your passive acceptance. It works to turn active citizens into passive spectators. We just end up watching events unfold, even really important events that affect our own lives, like we're watching a movie. We feel like we're just an audience, totally unable to jump in and change the script.
Okay, I know this is all pretty heady stuff, a little abstract, right? So let's try a simple metaphor to make it feel a bit more real.
Think of it like this. You're watching your life play out on a giant screen. You're the audience member, sitting there in the dark, just passively taking it all in. But here's the twist. You're also the actor on the screen. You're performing the role, you're following a script, but it's a script you didn't write. You are both the observer and the observed, kind of trapped inside this representation of your own life. That's what it feels like to live inside the spectacle.
So, what's the point of all this? Why does recognizing the spectacle even matter? Well, it's because once you see it, you can't unsee it. You get this powerful new lens for looking at the world. It's like a tool that lets you reinterpret everything.
Suddenly, when you look at the media, you don't just see entertainment anymore. You see a massive system designed to shape your desires and keep you watching quietly. In politics, it stops looking like a serious debate about ideas and starts to look more like a contest of shiny, spectacular images, a battle of personalities. And maybe most personally, you start to look at your own identity and realize just how much of it is a performance, a collection of styles and roles that you consume, rather than something you've authentically built from the ground up.
And all of this, of course, leads us to the biggest and maybe the hardest question of them all. If the spectacle really is everywhere,
If our reality has been swapped out for images, if our connections to each other are filtered through this whole system, then where in the world do we find what's real?
Look, this is really just scratching the surface. All these powerful, provocative ideas come from the mind of Guy Debord, from his classic 1967 book, The Society of the Spectacle.
And to really, truly get the full force of his critique, we can't recommend this enough. Go straight to the source. We really encourage you to read the book for yourself, or, hey, just borrow it from your local library.
For the full, long-form deep dive into this book and its ideas, follow the link in the description.
If you enjoy systems-level analysis like this, please subscribe and comment with books or topics you'd like us to explore next.